What are some interesting life hacks for saving money? I don't smoke but live my financial life as a smoker, meaning every Monday I transfer the sum of 1 week's worth of cigarettes to my savings account. If people that earn less than me can't afford smoking, so can I. If you can avoid it, never take out a payday loan. Always eat before going food shopping. I try to cost things as portions of better or more fulfilling things, that is, a coffee is 1/10 of a new game. 10 meals out is a weekend away, etc. Don't buy something that you normally wouldn't buy just because you have a coupon. Don't buy the cheapest option. Often the middle priced option will be the best value. Things that are too cheap are worth what you paid for them. Only drinking water is a solid one. Soda at restaurants or other drinks add up a lot. I don't spend $1 bills. I collect them in a box, and at the end of the year I usually have a few $100s. Learn how to log into your online banking system and review your statement regularly. You will see how quickly money flows out for coffee, snacks, and unnecessary purchase. Also set a budget and stick to IT. If you can buy a tool to complete a repair for the same price as the repair itself, buy the tool and repair it for free next time. Try buying reusable objects in place of single-use ones. It's better for your wallet and environment. Steel water bottles, reusable K-cups, dish towels instead of paper towels, etc. Over time the costs of little things really add up. Get yourself a library card. It's not just books, but also movies, workshops, education, software, computer time, music. I've probably saved thousands on all sorts of crap. If it weren't for the library, I probably wouldn't have been introduced to awesome books like American Gods, The Way of Kings, All Systems Down, or The Road. Look at store-branded food items. Do you really think Safeway, Kroger, Dollar General, Costco, and Walmart all have independent tuna canning facilities? No, they're sourcing the product from over the big three, or however many, facilities that supply the name brand. This goes for the majority of store-branded items. Make it a game to find out who has what national name product as their store brand product. This is not mine, but the 72 hours rule is pretty damn helpful. Basically, the gist of it is, if you want something that is not a necessity, instead of buying it immediately, add it to a list. In my case I use a spreadsheet, but whatever works. Then wait 72 hours. If after 72 hours, you still want it, then you can buy it. It seems that 80-90% of the time, after the 72 hours is up, I don't end up buying the item I thought I wanted. The reason I like doing it with a spreadsheet is, I can then at the end of the year, easily add it up, and see how much money I didn't impulsively spend. Edit. It took me a while, but I remembered where I picked this idea up from. It initially came into my world from listening to the Choose Fee podcast interview with the Frugal Woods. Here's the podcast, and here is her original article on it. Usually paychecks are issued every 2 weeks while bills are monthly. You have to pay bills 12 times a year, but you get paid 26 times a year. So every year you get 2 extra paychecks. Don't spend that money. Use it to pay off debt or put it in the bank. Live as a minimalist. Getting exactly what you need is not suffering the minimalist budget. Edit. The minimalist budget takes a more expanded view of how to be a minimalist. An example from the book: if collecting action figures makes you happy, then why not allocate 5% of your income to it? Why not 10%? Life is short and finding true happiness can be difficult. Sure, you don't need action figures to survive, but if they truly bring you joy, then by all means allocate resources to fulfill your hobby. The book takes notice of not only how to be frugal and save money, but also how to manage other resources in your life. Some of said resources are possibly more important than just money, such as also time, also spirituality, also happiness, also etc. Learn to cook. 4 or 5 reliably delicious recipes will go a long way. Be so depressed you can't go outside for non-essential activities. When at the grocery, look at the price or whatever unit it is instead of the total price. It's usually posted in one corner. It's not going to save you tons of money, but it does add up. Plus it takes out the guesswork when comparing similar items. Me. Oh, I'm always broke. Maybe I'll find some great useful tips here. Also me. Literally all you have to do is stop eating out every goddamn day and pounding beers for no goddamn reason. Literally. That's it. That's the only thing you have to do. I have a friend who, at the end of each pay period, moves whatever she has in checking into savings. It doesn't matter if she's got $5 or $50 in the account. It goes into savings the night before payday. Making one extra payment on your mortgage per year will reduce a 30-year mortgage to roughly 17 years. When buying online, leave items in the shopping cart for a while. There is a good chance that the website is tracking this and will lower the price over time to entice you into buying. I've saved a lot by being patient. Like when I got a surround sound amp for $350 that was listed everywhere for $450 to $500, just by leaving it in the online shopping cart for a week. Acting broke. Trust me, nothing helps you save more than acting broke. And there is a way to do that without becoming a mooch. Eat at home if your friends have a dinner plan at an expensive place. Pre-game if you're going clubbing. And if anyone asks you why aren't you eating, drinking, coming for that vacation, just say you broke. I learned this the hard way, because I remember becoming a recluse and slowly stopped socializing just because my friends always had these extravagant and expensive plans, and I realized it really started weighing down on me. But eventually I learned that there was no shame in wanting to save money being broke, and definitely none in saying so. If you have any land whatsoever and you aren't growing at least some your own food, plant a fruit tree, etc. You are really missing out. We got 20-ish raspberry canes at an end of season auction last year for $1 each. They saved me at least $200 in the first year alone. And they are spreading nicely, filling out the space I planted them in. I was pulling in 100 tomatoes every day at one point this summer. My freezer is full of free soups and bags of frozen tomatoes. I saved seed, heirlooms, and from here on out, I get free tomato plants forever. If you mulch them heavy with wood chips, they are almost no work. You can make your own compost really easy. It's all a lot less work than you think. And totally free money. Plus, fresh raspberries, tomatoes, peaches, strawberries. They are life-changing. The it in the store is hollow, tasteless garbage. This year alone, I bet I saved at least $2k from food I grew, with zero inputs other than a few hours to drop some compost down, plant, mulch, then pick now and then. Pay your savings account immediately, and treat it like a bill. Each check $100, $400, $50, whatever you can afford gets put away no matter what. Educate yourself on finance as well. The best way to save money is to be savvy about it in first place. P.S. The amount that they tell you put away, 10%, is not nearly enough. Full stop. You can get almost anything for free if you have a gun. Don't drink. Alcohol is a money drain. Buy secondhand. Today I have secured myself a solid pine desk for my daughter's room. No marks or damage. For you a cute 10. And a worn once 3-piece navy suit for my son to wear at our wedding next year. Also for you a cute 10. I buy maybe 80% of my stuff secondhand. I bide my time. Wait for a bargain. And I have saved so much money over the years. Easy one, buy your own modem. You can get a good one from Amazon for $100. Internet companies charge you $10 to $12 a month to rent yours. Buy your own. Return the rented one to internet company and get the charge removed from your bill. Pays for itself in under a year. Separate it out. Use multiple bank accounts. Use one for bullet money. Use one for rent, mortgage, whatever. Use one for recurring bills, gas, car payment, insurance, bills, etc. You know one easy way to not accidentally blow your rent money on dumb it? Keep it separate from your go party with Jeff on a Friday night money. Get a hobby that doesn't take a lot of money, like volunteering or doing knitting. Dollar store bleach, dollar store vinegar, dollar store cleaning products, dollar store air freshener. If you are getting married, send out wedding invitations to every billionaire's address you can find. You have a 50/50 chance that their assistants will just send you a perfunctory gift without ever wondering who the hell you are. Free gifts. This tip was brought to you by a random meme I saw 5 minutes ago. Make your own lunches for work. The cost of preparing your lunch for the week can be less than what you pay buying one day's lunch. Also, can provide health benefits. If you're in the US and have children and daycare, you can deduct up to $5,000 per year tax-free. My wife's company offers a flexible spending account for this, and they don't reimburse until she turns in receipts. She doesn't ever turn in receipts until late November, early December. So every year around Christmas, we get an extra $5 check. Rice is really cheap and can be really tasty. Have a side of rice with a lot of homemade meals to really round it out with basically no cost. Same with some simple sauteed veggies. Very low cost. Quite healthy and tasty. Buy defective clothes. They're usually way cheaper than regular clothes and most of the time you can't even tell what's wrong with them. Usually it's just something like the arms being marginally too long or a pattern that was from last season. And even then most people can't tell what's from this and previous seasons. 10% of your paycheck goes into a savings account and 20% to debts. The remainder stays in your checking account to pay bills and entertain yourself. Be disciplined and stick to the plan. If you can, increase the savings percent. When you have enough savings to fulfill an emergency fund, start investing. Calculate if you can afford things using these constraints. And if you can't, then don't purchase them. Not exactly a life hack, but this plan will make you wealthy. Learning how to cook pasta, rice and beans, soups, stews, polenta, grits, etc. Really anything that costs very little and can feed a huge family. You save insane amounts of money, even if you are frugal in terms of buying cheaper things from stores. For example, $5 Sandwich. For that same $5 you can make pasta with butter, cheese, and peas for the whole family, or make beef stew with barley. Chuck roast is really cheap and delicious in a stew. Consistently live below your means, and save, invest the difference. Call around for car insurance. Do it right now. I was with Safeco the last 8 years, and happy I was paying less than in previous years. Just called around again after moving and found out I was paying roughly 2.5x what I should have been. It was like over $1,500 more a year. I feel like I've been had. I'm 26 and I've been living my folks again to get back on my feet. I've been paying what amounts to rent and utilities into a savings account to see if I can handle the reduction in cash flow. Should have about 10k by Jan, and moving back out, INB for mooching, to pay them monthly as well. A mortgage should be your only debt. Save up to pay for everything else upright, including cars, student tuition, trips, and weddings. If you don't have the money for what you want in cash, find another cheaper alternative in the meantime and keep saving. Note, I am a Canadian and I know many people in the United States end up in debt due to surprise illness. I don't know much about this, but I recognize it is a different type of debt. Store brand over-the-counter medications, allergy meds, Pepto-Bismol, Tums, Motrin, Aleve, Tylenol, you name it. There is a store brand equivalent that is guaranteed to be at least 75% cheaper than the name brand. Just look at the ingredients. They are all the same. Most of them are just Target, CVS, Rite Aid, etc. Buying time on a name brand company's manufacturing process to make their own version of the same drug for less. Drive slower. You will see an immediate increase in MPG. Your brakes will last longer. Your tires will last longer. You'll immediately be at a reduced risk for an expensive accident. Your engine will be able to go further before needing expensive repairs. If you're low income, apply for food stamps, or whatever your city-state calls the equivalent. Seriously, there's no shame in it. I neglected to apply for several years when I was really struggling because I had to unlearn the stigma that they had when I was growing up. Times have changed. If you need help, don't be afraid or embarrassed to ask for it. I qualify for the maximum amount where I live, It doesn't cover my monthly food expenses, but it gets me through a few weeks and I could make it stretch if I really needed to. It never hurts to apply. Did you just get a raise? Put that amount into savings if you already have it. A couple $100 a month is nice, but you'll probably not notice is week to week. Look at your bank statement at the end of the month and see what the recurring things are. Monthly payments, regular food place etc. And just look at how much you are spending on them. I often get to the tail end of the month and wonder where the duck has all my money gone. Then I look and think, food and unnecessary payments to stuff I don't need. Makes me want to at least try and cut back. Don't use your main checking account for non-essentials. Give yourself a cash allowance each week. Set it to whatever you find comfortable. And only spend that. Once it's gone, it's gone. And you have to wait until next week. It really helps with budgeting. You know exactly how much you're spending on non-essentials. And you don't need to track every penny. If you're buying something, for example, deodorant, if there is a value pack versus a singular package one, look at the weights and prices of each. It shouldn't be hard to do the math and see, oh, the single one is $1 Oz but the value pack is $1.20 Oz. Just ran into this yesterday at the grocery store. Don't be in a relationship. eBay. Sell your old it. You'd be surprised at what others are willing to buy when you may think it's worth nothing. Stop buying snacks. Quit soda and the like. To really save money, you need to attack the big things. Brewing your own coffee, bringing a bag lunch, etc. are all well and good. But if you're leasing a new car instead of buying a beta, or living in an apartment that's more than you need, or sending a kid to a private school, those will wash out any other minor savings. If you can, buy electronics refurbished or lightly used on eBay or Amazon. They'll often be quite a bit cheaper a few months after release, maybe with a minor scratch. Certain things probably aren't worth getting used though, like hard drives and earbuds. EWW. Edit. Also, don't get used graphics card. As being pointed out in the comments, they were often used for crypto mining and are pretty worn out. Putting rubber liners around your windows and doors will cut your energy bill by a third. $20 at Walmart for my whole house. A more expensive good quality product will save you money on the long run compared to cheaper versions of the product which you might have to fix more often. Of course, higher price does not guarantee higher quality, so you have to do your research before purchasing. Sometimes the cheaper option might turn out to be the better product. Full stop. Get pregnant in January. This way you don't have to pay your ducking deductible twice. Download Acons. Turn on roundups and forget you have it. It'll round up each purchase you make to the next dollar, so you acquire a lot of change which then turns into a pretty nice savings account. Do not go grocery shopping while you are hungry or high. Definitely not both. If you can buy a tool to complete a repair for the same price as the repair itself, buy the tool and repair it for free next time. Stop buying Starbucks. You can buy the syrup they use at Target for $5 and coffee for another $10 that will last a whole month. That would be 3 trips to Starbucks for that price. Just don't spend on items you don't need. Little items for $10 here and there add up. Even as less as $1 adds up in the end. I'm a freshman in college and only get $80 a week, because I usually blow it at the movies or takeout. I got smart. Every time I go to the dining hall, I sneak food back to the dorm. I haven't seen this in this thread yet, so reduce your constant monthly expenses as much as you can. Anything that you pay for every single month, see if you can get rid of it or get a better price on it. Over time, those savings aggregate and really add up. For example, if you're paying for cable, get rid of it. It costs way too much for what you get, and so much entertainment is now available for much cheaper. Or just torrent. This thread is for hacks after all. Get a cheaper internet and cell phone plan. Monthly subscriptions for services are all the rage now because companies figured out that people will continue paying every month even if they barely use the service. Don't fall for that, unless you use that service a lot to justify paying for it every month. it's probably better to drop it and find a per use option. Ask yourself the following question. What do I really need in order to have fun? We all need entertainment in order to stay sane. And there are a wide variety of hobbies which require some variety of monetary investment in order to be enjoyable or even accessible. The thing is, just about anything can be entertaining if approached from the right perspective. Many of us had great fun as stick-wielding children, and that same capacity still exists in us as adults. It's just that we have to relax a little bit in order to appreciate it. Instead of watching a movie, explore the fantasy world that might exist somewhere along the length of a nearby hiking trail. Rather than buying a game, invent one with some of your friends, or make new friends by asking for help with ironing out the kinks in your like Battleship but with old shoes concept. Once you start having fun, you'll discover that it's a lot easier to keep having fun. And moreover, you'll find that life in general will get more amusing. Don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money if it would make those sorts of activities more enjoyable. But keep in mind that you don't have to spend anything at all in order to have fun. TLDR. The enlightened man requires no games, for he has content to play with himself. What really helped me was putting all my expenses in a spreadsheet, divided into categories. That is, food, snacks, alcohol, going out, clothes, transport, bills, etc. I found having to write down everything I buy extra, albeit slightly, discourage me from spending money on stupidity, and tallying up the totals after, say, 6 months really puts things in perspective. Personally, I didn't realize I was spending so much on alcohol, and I have managed to cut down on needless spending and save much more than I used to. This isn't a good way to save per se, but I have an urge when I buy things to earn that money back. So I work as an on-call bartender for a few different places that host events. So basically all of my 9-5 money goes into savings while the bartending money gives me better quality of life. If you and your spouse have similar income levels, getting married has significant negative tax implications for you. See marriage penalty. So if you want to get married, have a civil ceremony, sign wills, power of attorney, do name changes if you want, but don't get an actual wedding certificate. Also don't live in a state that has common law marriage. Continue filing taxes singly and save huge amounts of money. Edit. Note that this primarily impacts higher income households.